Okay, so we're going to try this 3025e out today out at the land. This is how I transport. So like I said, this is a 10-foot trailer. You can see I got the ramp down already, but it's pretty close. If you took the 3-point arms off, you'd have a little bit more room. And then I just strap it down on each side of the loader. That's the easiest way. You can't really put it through here because it's plastic. Also, there's some sort of plastic part here. We tried strapping it that way, it just didn't work. Oh, one thing to note, right here it says Made in USA. I don't know, maybe the transmission, who knows. And then the bucket I put backwards. I kind of drive forward so the front wheels touch, and then I set the loader over top of it. So it fits on a 10-foot trailer. Definitely tight. But it's about where you want for tongue weight too. It pulls perfect down the road, at least with this trailer it does. So two things I'm going to try today with it. One, and there's a big pine in the back that I've been messing with. I tried pulling it with the 8-in. I got a little ways before it dug in pretty hard. So we're going to try pulling with this. And then the other thing is there's a stump I want to try getting out with the loader. So those will be two big jobs here. Overall, I don't want to say that I'm impressed yet because I haven't really used it, but just the physical size of it makes me nervous. It just doesn't seem like it's big enough to do what that 8-in did. Taking that 8-in back down by my dad, it's no longer up here. I actually drove it down yesterday, or trailered it down. Those tires on that 8-in is just huge compared to these, and I don't know about these tires either. It'll be interesting to see how they pull in the woods with that pine log I got hung up, if they'll pull, if they're just gonna spin. So we'll see. Alright, so getting the bucket loaded on here, I was on a little bit of an incline here, and I actually had no traction. I had the driver's side rear wheel was off enough where it was spinning, and I don't know if that's a ballast issue. It could be, or it could be just the fact that I'm on uneven terrain here, but that's one thing to note, I guess. Definitely got to get some ballast. So what I'm trying to do here is lift up this stump here, and not having much luck. Not that the back wheels are coming off the ground, but the loader just not having the lifting force or capacity. So I can show you what I got over here. So I kind of flattened this one out a little bit. Oh, there's 2 logs there. I tried lifting on this too, and that was a no-go. Maybe if I get it from a different angle I could get it, but I don't know. So I don't know if I'd call that a win. I can tell you this, it definitely needs ballast. It's in 4-wheel drive now. Without any ballast, this thing's pretty much useless. It's really front heavy. Alright, so I know the camera angle's not ideal, but this log here that I want to take down, we'll try pulling. The same thing I did with the 8-in. We'll see if it's got it or not. 2 for 2 for this morning. So I grant that this is a pretty big pine that's hung up here, but I was thinking that I'd get it to go even if it was close. So obviously the tires are just gonna spin. I don't know, we'll have to see. I'm gonna have to pull some logs and see how this thing does. Okay, so I would say it's about an 8-foot log. The one I really want to get out and try and pull is that one there. And this is oak again. That's a much bigger one. Here's the thing. Here's the good and the bad so far. I don't know if I'm sold on the tires. I don't know. I was trying to pull it, you know, alongside, trying to get it to swing, and it spun. Even with the differential lock, I had 3 tires spinning. I don't know if I'm sold on that. What else? With this, I got to be a lot more careful, or at least I'm being more careful. With the 8N, I wasn't really too worried if I damaged something or bumped something. This, I'm a little bit more afraid because this is all plastic here. So if I had a log right up the wheel, it's going to just smash that. And I'm sure that's an ungodly expensive John Deere part. Things that are nice about it, I can have the tractor go forward or backwards just by pushing by hand here, not having to be on the tractor because I bypass the thing. So if I'm close with the chain, I don't actually have to get in, put it in gear, do that, and get back off. I can actually just, you know, make some fine-tuning adjustments, which is nice. Also, what's nice about the hydrostatic is when you back up and stop, it doesn't roll away. The 8N, when you put it in neutral, would roll away unless you set the brake. So that's good. The other thing I've noticed too is there's some spots I can't get through with the loader. It's just either too wide. I don't know if it's too wide or not, but it's definitely too long. I just can't get it through in certain spots. So I may have to cut some smaller trees down to get it through. The 8N, I could brake steer my way through. So overall, it's okay so far. Like I said, I'm going to pull this one out. This is kind of an odd shaped one. I got to hook it odd because it's got a funny area there where it wide off. But that piece there is a little bit more straight. So I'm going to hook into that and pull that and see how it goes. If that pulls alright, maybe we're okay. I'd like to be pulling though, not in 4-wheel drive. I feel like this thing should be able to pull 2-wheel drive. So, and there again, it may need some ballast. Okay. So I got that one pulled out. I actually pulled out pretty easy. Definitely the ballast, I think, is the issue. You get a lot of spinning from the back wheels, and it's got to be because that loader's hanging over the front. So, you know, the 8N is going to handle a little different because that's got, what is it, the sodium chloride or whatever it is, the solution, the corrosive solution in the tires. And then the fact that there's no loader on it, so it definitely got weight in the rear. So otherwise, 3-point arms work good. I did make some adjustments here on these turnbuckles just because it was rubbing the tires on the inside when I roll, so I'm going to tighten those up a little bit. But otherwise it works good. It's just you got to learn the subtleties of the machine. It's a little different. It seems like it should have the capability that I need here. The length though, that's definitely a factor. The fact that that loader adds so much length in here, pulling logs, you really got to choose your path carefully. So, and I still don't know what I'm going to do with this pine here. That really needs to come down. I'm working right underneath that there. I don't know. I'll have to figure something out. Alright. So, I got some in the bucket here. We're going to try taking this back. I get some sawdust all over the hood too, don't I? So, I don't know. I just don't know how to feel about this yet. Knowing what I could get an 8N for. I mean, the loader's nice. I've used the loader to push over some trees that were dead. That was nice. I couldn't really do that with the 8N unless I had a blade on the back. And then what else is nice about it? Well, having a loader is nice. So, I don't know, these tires I want to do a little bit more experimenting with. I may end up having the dealer put R1s on. So I just don't know that these tires are going to do it. They just seem to spin. You know, could be ballast too. Alright, so this is what I pulled out here. I did get that pine down. What I did was dig a trench in front of it, kind of V-notch it, and then as the log was digging in, I hooked towards the bottom, it pulled in that trench, and I got it to fall down. The logs that I got here, pines, I cut them at 9 feet. So there's 54 feet of pine here. I'm guessing that tree was about, well, what was standing was 75 feet. Now there could have been some broke off the top. I left part of it back there because it was just too, actually, yeah, there had to be, because this is pretty big. It was probably close to 100. There was at least 75 feet laying back there, but I don't, like I said, I don't know where the top of it was. So, and you can see that was right here. This is broke off too. That's the top. So, and then I pulled out 2 oaks. You can't see the one. This one here, and then there's one underneath that pine pulled out. So, what I tried to do was pull it just like the 8N and 2-wheel drive to be a fair comparison. It definitely could use fluid in the tires. I think that would help a lot. If you put it in 4-wheel drive, it works fine, but the machine does feel light even without using any type of loader work. I think that's jammed in here. Without using any type of loader, like scooping or carrying anything in the front, it's light. It definitely needs ballast just to act like a normal tractor. So I'll have to figure out what I'm gonna do. I was gonna go a heavy hitch, and then probably I looked at doing where he's got a double set of weights, using my 42 pounds because I already have them. So I got 6 42s, and then probably buying some 70-pound weights to get me close to that 800 or 900 pound range, and then maybe putting solution in the tires as well just to get more weight. Overall, it's not bad. Trying to think what I was using it for. Like I said, it's nice to be able to touch the hydrostatic and push it ahead without being on the tractor. Seems to be pretty good on fuel. I think I got about 7.5 hours on it, and it wasn't full. It's about 3/8 of a tank. I think I got it with 3/4, so that's not bad. The 4-wheel drive I learned how to use. You actually got to be moving, and then it will engage and disengage. Oh, I know what I was gonna say. I definitely got to get some sort of chainsaw mount to mount the chainsaw, and I'm looking at, I got these 3 holes right here that are tapped on the loader. So what I'm envisioning is some sort of plate here, and then I'd use it to mount the saw, and then also a box to put chains and tools in, because there really isn't a box on this thing, and that's one thing it could use, is a spot for chains that you can access. So other than that, it seems to be all right. I don't know, I wouldn't say I wouldn't say anything like this is the ultimate in comparison to the 8N. If you're just straight pulling, it's about the same. It's not going to outpull an 8N. I don't know if anybody thinks it would. It's not going to. At least not the 8N I was using that was cranked up and had solution in the tires. That thing pulls really well. So definitely get this thing ballasted, and then, you know, it could be a different machine once you get that weight in the back. Alright, so I got about 8.5 hours on that machine. It's about a 1/4 tank of fuel. So I didn't get a lot of work done today. It was more learning the subtleties of that machine, and I wanted to make sure I had it ironed out, because I'm kind of on a rental type agreement until Tuesday, and then I have to decide what I'm doing. So like I said, these logs here I pulled out, worked fine for that. It obviously needs ballast, and that's what they said at the dealership. They didn't want to sell it to me without a ballast box, or work out the paperwork without a ballast box figured in. But I don't want a ballast box because it doesn't do me any good. I'd rather have a hitch with some weights on it so I can still use it to pull logs. So yeah, it wasn't a big wood day, just a couple pieces here I got cut up, some stuff. I pulled a piece of poplar out, a piece of oak from the other end that I couldn't pull out during winter, and then I pushed some piles back. So I started the last hour or so I used it. I used the loader quite a bit here, learning it, and the only real loader that I would say I'm proficient on would be a skid steer. I'm real good with that, and this is a little different. I never really used a tractor and loader, so it's a little different. It's hard to see the front of the bucket, and there's no guide that tells you when the bucket is level or flat. So it's kind of dug up in spots, but I got it to do what I wanted it to do, was push all this stuff back. So I opened up this area, and this is nice now. This is not bad. Besides some stumps and stuff, it's starting to take shape. So like I said, the biggest thing is I'd love to have a place for a water container to stay, so I might have to figure something out with that if I go with this machine. Also the place for a chainsaw, and then also a spot for chains would be good too. That's probably the biggest thing. That, and then of course getting the thing properly ballast. So I did get these brush piles moved back too with it, which worked pretty slick. I just kind of put the bucket at like a 40-degree angle or 45 and just kind of push the piles ahead. And now it's really opened this area up. Wow, that looks nice. So I still got this random piece here I should cut off. I don't know why I pulled that out. I know what I was thinking. So yeah, I finally got the path back in here, because this was like last summer it was closed out because trees dropped and then there was stuff here. You really couldn't do much with a lawnmower, but now with this loader, just opened this right up, push piles back. So it does make short work of some stuff, which is nice, like pushing brush. Those little trees, you just push them down and uproot them and pull them right out of the ground. So I was worried that hydro wouldn't have enough power. I don't think there'll be an issue with that. That the engine has more than enough power. There's a couple times where I had like the tires spinning, and like I said, if I ballast that out, I'm hoping that then we get to a point where we're putting a little bit more work on the engine, because the engine didn't seem to work very hard today at all. So, and I think it's rated at 24.5 or something. It's under 25. So yeah, so just stick with me here. I'll shoot some videos out of once I decide how I'm ballasting that tractor. I'm trying to do it the cheapest way possible that's not a ballast box. I know the dealer said that was about $500, and you fill it with sand or concrete, but then you got a giant box that you're carrying around that really serves no purpose. I'd rather have a weight bracket and then a hook that I can hook my chain into so I can pull logs with it. So yeah, it's starting to take shape finally. It's getting there. And then this pile here I didn't push because there's some big stuff in there. I should cut up some of that stuff. And then I think eventually everything that's in here I'm just going to keep pushing back. So alright, well that's it for now.